Dominica International Airport talk. Well, if you are from Dominica, I'm almost certain that you heard about the issue with the source of the stones for the construction of the runway. Now, the runway needs lots of stone, a lot. I mean, that proposed airport is on the is almost 2 miles long. The runway is almost 2 miles long, and about 150 feet wide. Plus, there are additional shoulders and there are additional areas outside the runway that they're gonna need material for a base to to before they place the asphalt, and even the asphalt also needs that material. You have the majority of the asphalt is stones, so they need, and you're talking about on those type of those airports, international airport, to cater for these massive commercial airlines. We're talking about depth of pavement that could range from say 30 inches to 40 something inches. So you talk 2.5 feet plus of stones covering that with 150 plus, and in addition to so in addition to the other areas around and that that runway. So we need a lot of stones to get on. Obviously, yeah, the stones require certain properties. You can't use any and any stones in the asphalt. They need to meet certain requirements, several requirements that they need to meet, depend on the condition that they're going to be in. So I took a look at in from the locations of the quarries that they have been using so far for the stones. I'm gonna pull that up here on this Google Earth map. So if you look here, we have that one in the bends. By the way, the airport is around this area over here, and you have that quarry down in after you pass Bends. Forget how they call that location, close to the Blenheim River, just before you get that. If you're going on Possum, before you get to that road going up to Tebow Acres area, that rock, that hill here. So that's one location, and there's one in the Pigwa area, close to the Pigwa area right here. And then there's the new one here in the Dabewash, area. Now, so there's something before heading out to the field to do a subsurface investigation. The geotech engineer used the geologic map as a to help to get a preliminary idea as to what type of rock you may encounter. So the geologic map shows you the type of rock that's present, and several other information you will find on there. You might see some cross sections, but again, it's a general thing. It's not very specific, so you use it as a general guide. But you have to actually get in to to get site-specific information. So this is a geologic map I found of Dominica, and so again, the geologic map gives some general. To get specific information, you actually have to go onto the site and and do specific tests in that location. But generally, if you can find out what type of rocks are below that subsurface area before you get out there, and as you see, it's color coded, so the colors tell you the different type of rock. So each one, they have the designation. You see your explanation on the side here. And so I had those 3 locations I showed before. I just marked them approximate, right? Based on what I see, I could be off because I just try to estimate those based on some features that I've seen. So those are the 3 locations. And if you look at them, you'll see that, look, just based on the color, right? They are in that same color. So the same rock formation that's below there. But again, as I said in the geologic map, things can vary. You might find the thickness of rock, there's lots of variation. So sometimes they give you a big variation. You don't know the overburden, how much soil is above that, and so on. So there are several things that you have to actually go to the site to test to see exactly if you can correlate things to the map, but it will give you, testing will actually give you site specific information. So if you look here, there is that formation here. There's the azotic volcanic rocks and mafic flow rocks. So, and that's igneous rock. They come, igneous rock from when they have the molten lava hardens, right? It's come from heat, igneous rock. So one of the rock you'll find within here is basalt, and that is typically the dark brown, dense rock, fine grained, and really hard. So all these areas, you'll see they are within that rock type. So I was just curious to take a look and see where this type of rock is around Dominica. And if you look, there are quite a bit of places around Dominica where you could find that type of rock below. And again, there can be several variations in terms of the weathering of the rocks and even the hardness. The weathering affects the hardness and so on. How broken the rock is, how fresh it is, and all these things certainly mean things from when you're classifying as a geotech engineer. If you look in Calabishi area, even down in Portsmouth area, and on the coastal areas, you have that type of rock underlying those locations. Now just in terms of look at in Portsmouth area, I wonder how Portsmouth people would feel if some of them at least had to relocate to get the material as needed for the airport. Some people, most of the people were opposed to relocating to accommodate the airports. People that were not directly impacted, a lot of them say, "Oh, what are these people talking about? You know, they can they need to move so development can happen." Now, just imagine that we have to move several houses down in the Portsmouth area so we could get some of that type of rock. if if the one in Daybush is a no go. Imagine. So there, as you see, there are several areas around where you can find that material. But again, that's a geologic map. It's general. It don't give you this to get the specific information. You have to do a site specific investigation. But at least potentially, those locations are potential sources. If that is the material they actually getting, because based on the geologic map here, that's what we see in here, and this and that rock type is at several locations around Dominica, and I mean, it seemed like this area, in the Concord, Daybush area, Pegua is one of the largest um, area with this type of rocks, and I don't know. Maybe that's why it is becoming, or it has become the I guess the more, I don't want to say obvious choice, but the choice that they seem like they're looking at, because so far we have two of the three quarries for the airport within that formation. So it would be interesting to see and to hear why other locations were not, or why this area and not other locations around. Obviously, the airport is around Wesley area here. It's would be it it maybe would be a little challenge again to take more material from that area and this drop another community adjacent there. But if you look right down in Calibishi area, that formation is there, and so there seem to be several other locations, even down in the Pitted Savan area. So yeah, it was just another perspective. I took a look there at the geologic map, and I found that to be interesting. But I don't have any specific data from the people from the airport, so they did not give much details as to the choices. So I'm just sharing some light on that, and maybe somebody can give some answers as to whether I should they look at the geologic map and why that area in Daybush versus several of the other um, areas around Dominica that that material is present. So just wanted to share that. Bye bye.